Coming to you live from the Chill Group headquarters in Edmonton, Alberta. This is Cashews and Doughnuts. And now, here's your host, Mr. Chill himself, Corey Hill.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Cashews and Doughnuts. This is episode 2, season 1. Think we've worked out all the technical difficulties. Third, fourth time's the charm. We'll get it figured out. But it's good, actually. We learned a few things along the way, and we welcome you to join us. Thanks for being with us. And speaking of being with us, I've got Kelly Rose with me here today. Hi, Kelly.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
And Kelly,
we finally made it.
For those of you that have been following this, we tried yesterday and at least twice, and today is our second go-around. And so we'll make it work this time. So welcome back. Kelly, you are with a company named Panda Rose.
Yes, indeed.
And we'll get a chance to learn more about your company later on in the show. So
okay.
I'm excited about that. I have to tell you guys, yesterday I was not very well equipped to, present myself. I hadn't shaven. I badly needed a haircut. I also noticed that my suit was remnants of being a dad. I had peanut butter and jelly stuff all over from my kids. Gotta love being a parent. So anyways, it's actually good that it got postponed. I've cleaned up my evidence of having my kids all over me, and we're back. So Kelly, one of the first things we get to do here, one of the first things that we get to do here that I'm excited about is what I call a picking of the hats.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have to wear hats, but I have quite a neat collection, and so what we get to do is kind of pick a hat out for each other that can kind of give us some points throughout the show where we can just kind of add a little extra personality.
Sounds
so I'll let you go first as my guest. You're going to pick out something out of there that you think would look extra awesome on me.
That's what I picked yesterday, but we're going to try something else. You want to go chimney sweep? Let's go chimney sweep.
All right. This is one of my favorite hats, actually.
Or French beret existentialist.
I don't speak French, so it's going to have to go with... This is actually my Newsies hat. And so I like that a lot. What are you feeling? A little more traditional, a little more spunky?
Surprise me.
Surprise you. Because this is my Cat in the Hat hat.
Does match me lately.
You can try that. See how that fits you.
Oh my goodness, it is a small hat.
You know what?
Kind of feels like a chef hat.
I think you look pretty good, my friend.
Oh, yes.
What do you think?
It works.
We'll have to get our wives to watch the show back and they can give us feedback.
We'll get our kids to watch the show.
There you go.
My kid loves Cat in the Hat.
Yeah. Actually, I just read that to my kids the other day.
Have you seen on the TV show?
Yes.
Yeah. Not as good as the book.
No. And the movie was just weird.
Yes.
But we won't go there. I guess I already did that. So yeah, periodically throughout the show, if you feel so inspired to bring out your inner Dr. Seuss with that hat on, feel free.
I will see what I can do.
And I'll try and bring out my really bad British accent chimney sweep at some point. So we'll see how that goes. So Kelly, you and I have had a chance to meet a few different times, but why don't you want to dig in a little bit about who you are?
So I'm Kelly Rose. I've been doing Panda Rose for about 10 years now. Before that, I was a master's student down at the University of Calgary, and before that, I got my bachelor in mathematics from the University of Waterloo. And before that, crazy enough, I was a musical theater student.
That's going to come in handy later, I'm just saying.
I decided when I finished musical theater that I would go into mathematics, and essentially over the last 2 decades, I've slowly moved into business like my father did, and now I run a software development consultancy that sort of helps small and medium, even very large businesses meet their custom software needs.
Wow. That's been quite the making. And you've got a family as well?
Yes. 3 kids, all under the age of 4.
And how does that go at home?
Sleep is more difficult than it sounds, but it's lovely. I wouldn't trade them for anything. In fact, my daughter this morning is dressed up in a lion costume for a Halloween party my wife is throwing. And so she's running all around the house in this cute lion costume. She loves it. And she's 1.5, so it's even cuter than that. And then William, who's my oldest, he's dressed up as a cop. And his grandfather's in town, so he's dressed up as a prisoner. So it's kind of hilarious seeing William and his dad dressed up.
So you have 3 kids, 1 daughter and 2 sons?
Two daughters,
daughters and one
one
son.
son. And the youngest is 4 months old. She's dressed up as a ladybug, but
She doesn't even know it.
yeah.
Probably. So, do you guys get much sleep in your house?
Depends on the day. In general, 3 kids, one's a newborn. It's quite difficult, but every once in a while, like last night was great. Newborn sleeps through the night, and the oldest ones are all more or less sleeping through the night. I get up at 6, so it gets me to work a little earlier. But other than that, they've been doing pretty good. I'm pretty happy with them. So.
Nice. What would you say is your favorite part of being a dad? What's like the cream of the crop for you? What's your favorite part of that?
Hugs, and my kids love to give them as much as I like to. So it's not unusual for me to be standing around working in the kitchen, and all of a sudden my daughter Jenny will just run up to me and glomp onto my legs, big smile on her face. And William, who's the oldest, he still is, he's still attached to his dad for a couple more years. So there's, he wakes up in the morning and wants Daddy to be there to wake him up because that's Dad. And so it's, that I have to say is fun. It's nice being appreciated and seeing them grow up, especially as they have the cognitive jumps every once in a while where you're just surprises you that they're suddenly aware. Or when William, I swear he learned how to talk within 2 weeks, it felt like.
Really?
Went from nothing to almost full conversations.
Wow.
So, and then especially because he's going to a French school now, hearing his French get better is quite nice because, he's been speaking English around the house because my first language is English, my wife's first language is French. But now that he's going to French school and he's getting that exposure, he comes home and he speaks French, and you realize how much French he really does speak. And in fact, at times it scares me because he'll start speaking with Suzanne, my wife, and I won't be sure what they're talking about.
You're like, wait a minute, what did you just say about me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see how that would happen.
And I have a feeling that that's going to get used against me when my kids become teenagers, but we'll figure that one out.
That's okay. My favorite part of being a dad is probably when I come home from work at the end of the day and I walk into the house, and at least for now, all of my kids are still anxious to see me, and they run up and say, Daddy! And they tackle one. I got twins at the end. They're about 3 right now, and so one grabs one leg, one grabs the other leg, and my 6-year-old jumps on my back and trying to walk like this. Wouldn't trade it for the world.
No, it's not. You can't complain about that. And like I said, I'll probably eventually have even more. So it'll be. I find they're great, and I find my kids play really well with each other too. So it's nice to see the whole family grow over time.
It's true, and you'll see that more and more. You mentioned about teenagers. My oldest daughter's 12. At this exact moment, at least as of this morning, she still likes me.
Oh wow!
So hopefully, when she turns 13,
has she had a boyfriend yet?
No. Don't say that.
That would be.
I'm scared. I don't have my shotgun ready. I'm scared. Let's move on to happier topics.
Oh, okay.
So, for those of you at home that don't know much about this show, which is probably most of you because it's pretty new, we have 2 main goals with Cashews and Doughnuts. So, goal number 1 is to make you laugh. If we can do anything throughout the 20 minutes or so that we're shooting this to make you smile and laugh, mission accomplished. Second thing that we try to do is inspire. Hopefully that's through business-related means, but it could be family or just hopefully you leave here feeling good about yourself too. So those are kind of the 2 main goals. And to make you smile, we've got a slew of fun improv games that we're going to play with every episode. And though Kelly and I have a little bit of advanced knowledge of what kind of games we're going to play, everything on this show is unscripted. So we could fail miserably, and that'll probably still be funny. Or we could actually succeed well and hopefully still be funny. So either way, hopefully you laugh. So that's kind of what that's about. So our first improv game is called I've Got the Music in Me. And that sounds like a corny line from High School Musical because it probably is. So here's how this game works. We're going to act out a scene, and every phrase, as much as possible, it's not going to be possible with every word, but at least every turn to talk, you got to try and throw in a lyric to a song somewhere, a phrase, a title, something to do with a song that you know that you can throw in there. And that's really the only guideline. So you might have a couple lines where we can't think of anything, which I'm sure is going to happen. Truth be told, I'm terrified of this game, but I think it'll be funny. So here's the scenario. You said in your intro here that you did music theater. One of the things I didn't tell you that I realized afterwards is that we have both been acquainted with the same musical. So the only high school musical I did in high school was Pirates of Penzance. Very funny operetta, Gilbert and Sullivan show. Anyone that's seen it, you probably know the Modern Major General section, which is, I believe, is the role you played.
It's the one I used for auditions, yes.
So, anyways, so that's the scene. We're auditioning for a musical production of Pirates of Penzance. And so, yeah, I guess I don't know how it's going to go, but we'll see. So when I say act out, we probably don't have to actually move. We'll just do the talking and hands and stuff. But so you get a pick. Do you want to be the person auditioning? Or do you want to be the music director who's holding the audition?
How about I be the music director?
You want to be the music director? All right. So that's the scene. Try to think of a song title or lyric you can throw into as many lines as possible, and we'll stop after a minute or two and see if we can have some fun. So, are you ready, Kelly?
I am as ready as I can be.
That's how I feel too. Okay. So, hi. I'm here to audition for the musical Pirates of Penzance, I believe it is.
Are you the music man?
The music man? You know what? I've heard that we have trouble right here in River City. I don't know if you've heard that, but that's what I've heard.
Do you hear the people sing?
I do hear the people sing a lot, actually, but I'm here to sing. At least I think you'd like me to sing. Would you like me to do that?
Thriller.
All right. So, this is like my all-time favorite Temptation song. I know it's not a musical, but it's fun.
Show me love.
Okay, channeling it for you. I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go. That's all I remember, honestly. What'd you think?
One day more.
One day more? You want me to come back tomorrow?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that. I mean, I just got here to say hello. It's me.
Another day, another destiny.
What if I try another one? I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts, diddly-dee. Here they are, all standing in a row. Certainly, what'd you think of that one? I got you stumped?
You got me on stumped on that one.
Okay.
Oh.
We can cut it there if you want.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually glad that one's over. That one's really hard. It's funny because when you're not in the middle of it, it's really easy to think of songs and stuff. But I was rehearsing all morning. I'm like, oh, what songs? Doing it live, I can't think of nothing.
Well, it's like when you do the question one. You know, it just, you all of a sudden realize how hard it is to come up with questions other than, putting a question mark at the end of every sentence.
It's true.
Oh, this hat makes
warm?
me feel fat.
What?
It is very, very small. It doesn't fit me at all.
It's the cat in the hat, not the fat in the hat.
Oh,
But,
sure. Oh,
Hey.
I'm going to float it back a bit here. There we go.
So, Kelly, you
Now I
are
look like I'm from Jamaica.
you are with a company called Panda Rose. Why don't you take 30 seconds and tell us a little bit about specifically what Panda Rose does?
So Panda Rose is a software consultancy, or what I like to tell people a solutions consultancy. What that means is we come in and we analyze your business and we figure out where you have a bunch of different software programs that are not talking to each other, where you're wasting time transferring data back and forth between them. And we develop custom solutions to increase your ROI, to decrease the amount of time you're spending fighting with the off-the-shelf software you have. Now, on top of that, we also do two other services from a software consultancy perspective. One, if people have that idea for that, that mobile app that's going to make you $1 million, but you don't have anybody who can program it, you come to us, we sit down with you, we review what the marketplace has with you so you know where you're sitting, what your idea is. We're quite familiar with what's out there. And then, if you want, we proceed and we develop your app for you, or your web app or your website, so that you can take your idea to production. And the third one, which is sort of the fun one, is we also create pretty much anything you can imagine. So there have been times where people have approached us and said, can you give us a green screen system that'll automatically stick somebody into a Sportsnet studio, and it has to be completely usable by somebody who doesn't know how to use any technology. And we come in, we look at everything, we look at the designs and stuff they provide us, we go, yeah, sure, let's do that. And in fact, if you've seen Hometown Hockey, that's the Be a Broadcaster system that Sportsnet's been driving around the country.
Nice.
Is one of the items we built. And so because of that, solutions consultancy, we come in, you have an idea, we find you a solution that fits your budget, your needs, what your company wants, and then we implement it for you and make sure you're happy in the long run. And we've saved companies much, much money in the long run by cutting down their overhead of transferring between different pieces of software all the time. And we've started companies from scratch with people like Page Clipper Chats, where we've built the software from the ground up. So that's more or less what we do.
That is so cool. And when I talk to you and hear about you talk about this, you seem very passionate about this. What drives that passion? Why do you love what you do?
I really enjoy creating things that people tell me they think are impossible. So I've had many people come in and go, I went to 5 different people, and they're all saying this is not possible to do. And I sit down and I work out the requirements with the client to see if it is possible or not. And 9 times out of 10, we find out, oh yeah, you take this, you take this, you take this, we put them together, that fits within your budget, and this does exactly what you want it to do. And there have been time and time again where a client has, after the fact, been just blown away by what they ended up having, because it was exactly what everybody else said was not possible in that budget range. And many times, what I find hilarious and enjoyable is sometimes we take over on legacy software that nobody is willing to maintain anymore. And within a year, we have it all sorted out, and stuff that hasn't been updated in 6-7 years is now running on the latest platforms, running quickly, works with the new databases, and the clients are just happy. And at the end of the day, my client's success is my success. And so when I see a client using my software, getting that ROI improvement, getting success with their ideas, if they're a completely new business plan, I go, awesome, I've done my part. And that's why we say we're your dedicated CTO. We don't view ourselves as some sort of external contractor. We view ourselves as literally part of your team. And we manage that to try to make sure that you succeed, because if you don't succeed, your CTO doesn't succeed. And that's where we sit.
And for those at home that own businesses that may not know what CTO means, can you explain what a CTO is?
Chief Technical Officer. So in larger businesses, you have your C group, your CEO, your COO, all those different things. And a Chief Technical Officer is usually the one who spearheads the development, spearheads the hardware that's purchased, managing the IT to some degree, even though that can be passed off to a CIO. It basically manages the direction the company is moving from a technical point of view. And with that, they find those shortcomings where money's being wasted because inadequacies or inefficiencies, and they bring in the developers to fix those shortcomings, and suddenly the ROI goes up. And that's their area. In some businesses that ends up being R&D, in other businesses that ends up being maintaining legacy systems, and in other businesses that ends up being a full business analyst position. In fact, with one of my clients, we did a very deep business analyst of one of their processes, and we discovered 2 flaws that were fairly trivial to solve software-wise, but that were taking up over a week's time internally every month to work around.
Wow.
And so we went through it and we solved it, and now they've actually complained that they have so much more free time they don't know what to do with it.
That's a good problem to have, I think.
I think it is, yeah.
So that's got to be very rewarding. One of the things I learned when I talked to you a little while ago was something I love about how you do business is someone might come into you thinking that they need this brand new concept for a software idea, and you will be very upfront with them and let them know, you know what? I could take your money and design something from scratch, or I could come up with a much cheaper solution because 2/3 of what you need is already in existence, and we just got to top it up with a specific customized piece of it. And I think that's great that you are very upfront and transparent about that.
Oh, well, that's what you do as a CTO in any business. You look at the off the shelf, you look at what's out there, and you go, what do we need to get from here to a minimum viable product, to something they can use? Now, you can build it from scratch, but the maintenance and overhead on that is insane. You're basically taking on all of that development, all of that maintenance, and every bug that could possibly pop up is now your responsibility. Or you do it the smart way, and you know what's out there, you know the industry, and you go, we take this from this shelf, we take this from this shelf, we take this from this shelf. We program it so they all talk to each other nicely. But now when any of them update, whenever there's issues, it's on the responsibility of those vendors or those open source projects to keep those up to date. And all we have to do is keep the communication lines working properly. So what can happen, and this has happened for many of our clients, is there'll be updates of those central products, and the whole piece of software moves up in quality. And we haven't done anything other than followed that there was an update, and then updated it, did our internal testing to make sure it talks together, and off to the races.
Sweet. Well, thank you again for doing what you do. And I think it's great that there's honest options out there, and you love to help so much.
Like I said, in my opinion, and I every client I have, I feel this way, is you need to succeed for me to succeed. And I know a lot of people in the software development world who are just, I'll program it and then I'm off to the races. And for me, I want to have that long-term relationship. I don't want to just build one piece of software and walk away. I want to work with you from your whole business to find all those places where you can improve your return on investment, and you can improve how much, decrease your inefficiencies that you might not even realize are there because you don't recognize them as inefficiencies. Where people are working around bugs, or people are working around issues with the existing systems that can be fixed. And it constantly surprises me when people are like, had spent 10 years working around a bug that could have been fixed in 10 minutes, and they just didn't know.
Yeah.
And that's what we specialize on. So.
Cool. Well, thank you, Kelly, for sharing all that.
No worries.
We're going to move on to our second improv game now. The inspiration for this game actually comes from one of my favorite movies. I have many, but one of my favorite movies, probably the most quotable movies, is The Princess Bride, a classic. And there's one section of the movie that's probably quoted quite often, where I think it's Fezzik is saying all these rhymes. They're on a boat, and he keeps rhyming with everything. I think initially by accident, but then he keeps doing it. And finally he's like, "No more rhymes, now I mean it." And then of course the popular phrase that follows is, "Anybody want a peanut?" He's like, "Ah!" So this game is called Rhyme or Reason. And the way it works, we're going to act out a scene, and as much as possible, the last word has to rhyme with the phrase before it. After 2, 3, 4 times back, we might run out of rhymes, and we'll just say, stop and start a new rhyming scheme again. But that's the basic gist of it. Piggyback on what you said about your business, the scenario here is that I'm coming to you, Kelly, for some IT help.
Okay.
I think you're pretty expert at that field, and I'm not, so this will be good. But yeah, that's the thing. So I'm coming to you for some IT help. As much as possible, try to rhyme your end of your last word with the phrase before, and we'll go from there. So, yeah.
After you.
So, hi, I'm looking for a Panda Rose.
What questions do you have to pose?
Well, can I just ask if anything goes?
Almost anything, but none of those.
Okay. Well, I'm here because I need some help with my computer. Is that something you can help me with? That's a hard one, isn't it?
That is a hard one.
Is that something you can help me? Can you help me?
No, help me with. Well, Panda Rose isn't a myth.
I really wish I had a Sith right now because that's the only word I can think of. So, yeah, essentially, do you want to know what my computer's been doing?
Has it been groovy?
Oh, you're really good at this. I'm not so good at that.
I honestly, there's nothing to miss.
Yeah, well, I wish.
Well, you just lay it out on a dish.
I hate to break it to you, and I know that's nothing to do with the computers, but I don't like to eat fish.
Oh, pish.
So, I guess my computer. Do you want me to describe what it's been doing? Do you want to know what's happening?
Yeah, but I'm requesting one thing. You have to sing.
You want me to sing? That's your thing?
That's my one thing.
All right. I already sang earlier. Are you sure that's what you want me to do?
No, you're right. That's through.
Okay, so can you help me know what to do?
Well, it sounds like your computer has a little boo-boo.
I guess you could say it seems like it has the flu.
The flu?
Yeah.
You're not going to sue.
No, I don't know how do you do?
Well, you have a company who gave you a computer with the flu. Isn't that true?
That is true. Maybe I should ask my good friend Sue.
Or you could take the computer to the loo.
And then I could flush it down the toilet just for you.
Just for me.
All right. Good job, Kelly. Once again, it's important you guys understand, I'm an accountant, he's an IT guy. We're not improv guys, but it's fun to try and come up with this stuff. So the last kind of piece of our serious part of our show is where you get a chance to ask me, and this is terrifying to me, but fun at the same time, kind of what are some of your questions you have? It could be questions that you as a business owner face that maybe an accountant, finance, a business person could shed some light on. I may not know the answer, but we can try.
Okay, well, here's one that's been a stickler for me for many years. My year end arbitrarily was end of December from the beginning of my business, simply because I had to choose something. Now, a lot of accountants I've gone to always ask with this sort of eyebrow raise, end of December, like there's something wrong with it. But then when I ask them if there is, they always, oh, no, that's fine, we'll work with that. I want a truthful answer here.
I'll do my best.
Why would the end of December be a bad time to do a year end? And when would be a good time to do a year end, especially for a business that's my size?
Well, that's a good question. And I'll be honest with you. So from strictly a selfish perspective as the accountant for a minute, when I have a client that comes into me and tells me they have a December year end, I do initially cringe for a moment. And the reason I cringe is because usually you would tackle your year end because the taxes owing would be due 3 months afterwards. So end of March is when the taxes for any December year ends would be due. So any accountant trying to be proactive would make sure to get the client stuff in and finish it by the end of March. Well, as you know, end of March is right in the middle of personal tax season. So from a selfish perspective, it's hard to have a client that has December year end because it's one more thing that the accountant has to try and do during March and April when there's hundreds or thousands of personal tax returns to do at the same time. But if we take the accountant side of it out for a minute and focus on you as the business owner, having a December year end is fine. There's no wrong answer. The thing I always tell my clients is when you have a December year end, because it's the same as the personal tax year end, any tax planning you could do is somewhat negated. The biggest tax planning strategies out there would involve a staggering between a year end of your personal taxes, which you can't change, has to be December 31st, and a year end of a corporation, which could be any month of the year it wanted. And a tax deferral, so the ability to pay tax on something you earn now later down the road, can happen easiest if you have something other than December 31st. So if a company earns income and has a year end of January, for example, then they could pay out a dividend to you as the owner on the last day of that January fiscal year and potentially delay tax for a year and a half on having to pay personal tax on it. Any month of the year other than December will give you a similar opportunity to take money out of your corporation, declare it as a dividend at year end, and potentially defer personal tax on it for up to a year and a half later.
Okay.
So a December year end doesn't allow you to do that. So that's, I think, kind of the biggest reason from a business owner's perspective as to why you might want to pick a year end other than December 31st. The good news is the CRA will let you change your fiscal year end if you're committed to a December year end, so you think, the CRA will let you change it. You have to have a good reason to change it, but I've never had them deny one that had valid reasoning for doing it. And even if the reason was, I didn't know what I was doing when I got into it, and now I've met with an accountant and I want to change it to something, they'll do that.
Okay.
So does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Here's a second question.
Sure.
So right now, almost all my income is within Canada, so it's easy to deal with the taxes on that. But let's say I were to get a significant contract out of the U.S. or Europe, and they're an American company or they're a European company. How does taxes work on that? Do I suddenly have to start paying American taxes or European taxes, or is it all just considered Canadian income?
You would have to report your worldwide income inside your Canadian company. And to be honest with you, I'm not as comfortable to know how it works for the US or for European countries on as far as whether you would be filing the tax returns for those respective countries as well.
Does it change dramatically though within Canada, even just with the CRA?
No, you just need to do a conversion. You convert the euro or the US dollar to Canadian at year-end rates, and that's the most, I guess, thing. I guess the other thing to keep in mind with that too is, if this is inside your business, if it's becoming a majority of your revenue is outside of Canada, there can be called into question Canadian residency issues as to where the headquarters of the company might actually be. That could negatively affect tax. But if you have the odd client here and there, and it's making up a small portion of what would otherwise be mostly Canadian revenue, not really a big deal from a Canadian perspective. But yeah, I would refer that client on to a specialist in the U.S. for U.S. tax or European for European tax.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, good questions. Nice work. So our last game here we're going to do is called Movie Styles. And this is taken right from Whose Line Is It Anyway, or very similar to it. I love that show. I'm not sure if you had a chance to watch it as a kid. I always used to watch it and be like, I love that show, I want to go on it, and now I feel like I'm on it and I suck. So that's okay. Good thing that very professionals do that and we stick to our day jobs, but it is fun. So essentially what I have here, and you have the list in front of you too, we've got, 10, 15 different movie styles, or just names of movies, very well-known movies. Titanic, Forrest Gump, Braveheart, Indiana Jones, things like that. And so we're going to act out a scene, and the only stipulation on this is every 10 seconds, I'm trying to set my watch here, we're going to change the movie style. Okay. And so we're going to have a conversation, and when the 10 seconds is up, I'll say, okay, change, and I'll announce the name of the next movie we're moving into, and then we're going to change how that approach works to fit that movie.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I haven't had great luck with the first two games we've done, so I don't know if this is going to be like a 0 for 3 day, but in theory, this one could be easier and definitely a little bit more entertaining, perhaps. So here's the scene. So last game, you came to me. I came to you for IT advice, and in this game here, you're going to come to me for an accounting advice, or let's pretend that you're going over your year end. You're bringing your year end for me to do, and that's kind of the scene. Okay. So I'd advise you not to use any real numbers or real names or anything unless you really want to. But that's the scene. And we're going to start out, the first movie style is the Titanic.
Okay.
That classic Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet movie that people saw 100 times and no one wants to admit they've actually seen.
I've never seen it.
You're one of the ones that doesn't want to admit
it.
No.
No. I honestly have never seen it. I know the gist of it, though. There's an iceberg.
There's an iceberg and a ship.
And the rumors they all die in the end.
Well, we'll see. All right. So that's the scenario. And we'll go. So we're going to start on this Titanic.
Iceberg! Year end's coming!
Oh no! What are we going to do? Don't worry.
I need you to steer. Steer us away from the year-end iceberg.
I'm trying.
Sound of music.
All right. Now we're on the Sound of Music. I don't know why you want to get rid of the iceberg. I don't know if you know this, but the icebergs are alive with the sound of music.
That works.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Shredder! Ah!
I don't know if that's anything to do with it.
Oh, okay, next.
Okay. Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
So, my mom always said life is like a room full of accountants. You never know what you're going to get.
Mine, Bo.
Terminator. Terminator.
No, It's a Wonderful Life.
Okay, It's a Wonderful Life.
So you see, we need to get the bank. We need the loan from the bank to keep the bank open.
Yeah.
Wow, 10 seconds is fast.
You're telling me.
Terminator, go.
Here we go. So I hear you're back to get your rear end done.
That works.
Okay. Back to the Future.
Go. I'm like 3 years behind. We have to go back.
Great Scott!
Go back to get our taxes done.
Lion King. I just can't wait to be your accountant.
That works, yeah.
All right. Braveheart.
Oh, goodness. Are you going to tear out my screen?
My name's Corey Hill. They can take my accounting, but they can never take my freedom.
I don't know. They are the CRA. They probably could.
You know what CRA stands for?
What?
Completely ridiculous and annoying.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
But they're lovely people.
Yeah.
They are.
All right. Toy Story.
Oh goodness, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Do I push you out a window now, and then we'll just chase after you?
And then I'd say something like, to accounting and beyond.
There we go.
Okay. Indiana Jones. Wow, that was creepy.
That was creepy.
All right, Sixth Sense.
I see dead accounts.
You see dead accountants all the time?
Dead accounts.
Oh, dead accounts. I thought you said dead accountants. Like...
No, just dead accounts. It's a little less terrifying.
Okay.
Still a twist, though.
Good. Star Wars.
A twist. Star Wars. Here's my urine.
Here's what I have to say to that. Princess Bride.
Oh, goodness. My name is Inigo Montego. You forgot my account books for last month. Now you must die.
You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. Hunger Games.
Why did I kill my accountant?
You know what? People might do that all the time.
I know.
I think that's all we got time for, though, so we should stop.
Good stuff, yeah. That worked.
That one went a little better.
I'm
All right,
good with that.
so we're basically done. Thank you for sticking around. I hope you've had a good time. It's been fun to listen, and hope you guys are making some fun comments, and hopefully made you smile and laugh and learn something as well. So I'd like to invite you to check out our Facebook page, Cashews and Doughnuts. If you just Google that or search it on Facebook, you'll find us. Feel free to give us a like or comment on what you like, and if there's anything else you want to see. And I'll also post information on how to contact Kelly, because Kelly's got a great service with his Pandaros IT work that he does, and I encourage you to check him out. So Kelly, you get the honors of closing the show. This is kind of what everyone talks about when they come on the show, is they love this part, and this is where I get wet. So Cashews and Doughnuts is put on by my accounting firm called the Chill Group, and the catchphrase for my firm is a cool, refreshing accounting experience. And in order to drive that home, you get the honor of taking a big, nice cup of water. I feel that too full, I fear, and pouring that on my head.
Okay.
And so I hope you won't consider me a chicken, but this is a nice suit jacket. So I'm going to change into more appropriate rain gear in response for getting wet. Just a minute.
Make sure that's flashed on your computer.
I'll take the hat off too because I like my hat.
That's a nice one.
So I have to ask, and you can comment later, but does this, you looking forward to dumping water on somebody else's head?
No, just yours.
Just mine. You sure? I got my secretary out there. She can do it too. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Cashews and Doughnuts, episode 2. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back on a normally scheduled day of Wednesday next week. And Kelly, I give you the honors. Here you go.
Let's see. I'm supposed to say this while I'm doing this. So he's going to... There we go. Kneel for it. That's good.
Well, my wife told me I should put this on her. It's no good.
Oh.
But I'm okay getting it.
It'll just go down your shirt.
Okay, here we go.
Cashews and Doughnuts is brought to you by the Chill Group. A cool, refreshing accounting... Ooh, I'm getting wet. Accounting experience.
Woo! All right. Until next time, everyone. Have a great day. Take care. Wow.
Got me there. Good?
Yeah. Well, it worked.
You happy?
Yeah. We had lots of people watching it.
Did you? Lovely.
And I am soaked.
Yeah, that's why I said you were starting to get me there.
Oh. Well, thank you.
I don't know. Oh, like somebody wrote, do it, do it.
Did they?
Yeah. That's funny.
Well,
That worked.
we did it.
Yeah?
And your idea of jury rigging the camera and your idea of moving over here, brilliant.
I really made it smooth and natural.
It gave us a table, it gave us a barrier, it made it great. So, thank you.
No worries. I'm glad it all worked out the way it did.
Like a rain gutter over here.
Hey, it just I had a feeling if I put your hat on, I would get more wet than you. That's part of the reason I was like,
Oh, really?
yeah, because it was splashed.
Oh.
Oh, goodness. Trying to find your post so I can share it. There we go.
Well, thank you, sir.
No worries. Yes, it even like looks natural. You can talk to each other.
So what is there? 5 comments, 1 share.
You know, I don't think there were 104 views though. It's not bad.
How do you tell how many people are watching?
You have to wait till it's on your timeline, and then it shows a little graph that shows as people turned it on and turned it off. I don't know how to tell on that thing.
How long does it take to post to your timeline?
Looks like it's done now. Literally. So if you play it. So what happens.
Will it show just me, or will it show everyone?
It's interesting. Oh, there it is. You see how there's this the chart there?
Oh well.
That's people watching.
So at the peak there, how many? Does it tell you how many people?
I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't worked with it as much as you. Here,
And I've worked with it hardly at all.
well, that's still one more time than me. Here, ready? Let's get a shot here. You soak me.
Me soaked.
Let's do this. This is
Should I put my raincoat back on?
no. We need a good shot. There we go. We do the Colbert Report thing. There we go. That's better. Sorry. There we go. Ready?
So your phone does that now too. It takes the flash on the front too.
Yeah.
I don't know if I actually like when it does that. But
The raincoat does nothing.
still soaked. Fun.
Take you in here. It's funny, it keeps on thinking you're me. We must have very similar facial structures.
I'm gonna take that as a compliment.
Yeah. If
I think you're a good-looking guy, so I'll take that as a compliment.
There we go.
I'm gonna grab a towel.
And you have to pour it slowly or it doesn't go down as coat.
And then you're gonna ask me, why am I doing this every time? I don't think I do very well.
Oh, goodness.
Oh. We're putting the batteries on. It's like hyperspeed now.
Oh, shoot.
Just delete it if you're afraid.
Oh, goodness stuff.
I think I don't have more clients coming in here.
You're just telling me working really hard.
I didn't have time to go to the bathroom.
Just sweating.
So you weren't here for that. Big client. Personal tax season.
Oh, goodness.
They came in, rushed right to the bathroom, were in there for probably 10 minutes, and then came back out and went to sit at my desk. Didn't think much of it at the time. They left. They were only 5-10 minutes after they left. The bathroom, there was diarrhea food everywhere. And then I started to retrace our steps. There was diarrhea food all over up into my office. We tried everything to get rid of it, and the smell would not go away.
Oh, goodness.
We scrubbed the carpets with carpet cleaner, we vacuumed, we did air fresheners, we Lysol everything in his office. I could not get rid of it. And so I'm like, well, I'll try the essential oils. And I stuck in, it was like grapefruit or something, and it turned into, like, it enhanced it instead of helping it. So it just smelled like grapefruit diarrhea.
Oh, this sucks.
It's like citrus diarrhea now. It's like horrible idea. Anyway, so and then I finished his stuff. He's like, so Corey, can I come in to get my stuff? And I said, it's all right, we'll mail that to you. And then I went to my section and I'm like, please don't make it back in your office.
Yeah, that's insane.
Really nasty.
I'm surprised that he made a mess of your washer. Like, it's not hard to get it clean.
You'd think not. Maybe he was on a new brand of Depends or something. I don't know.
I've had friends who worked in gas stations and stuff, and they're like, people must do it on purpose. They're like, honestly, it's not hard to hit a toilet.
I have always wondered that too.
You know, urine, I can understand 'cause you're standing up, a little tipsy, maybe. But when you sit on it, like how else would you get it everywhere else? So they hover? Oh. Cleanest thing in most places, because it's cleaned all the time. What? Toilets.
Really?
Most
I don't think our toilets are cleaned now. Or do you clean them?
when you do test in public places, they find toilets are cleaner than the sink.
Really?
Where people go to wash their hands afterwards.
Did you ever seen Mythbusters?
Yep. That was one of the things to do.
They were trying to see if it was dirty to leave the toothbrushes in the toilet in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
I think they found it wasn't. I can't remember what they found, but I didn't think it was what they expected.
Yep. Well, they also tested the one about the fans being bad.
The exhaust fans?
The fans that dry your hands.
Oh,
And they totally proved that that was bad. And in fact, I actually saw a follow-up study in a real journal.
bad how?
It sprays the bacteria everywhere. It's like way worse. You get more bacteria on your hands from them. It's better
Really?
not to use them at all
Really?
than to use them. Because it sucks in air from the room, so it gets the bacteria from the air in the room. That grows on the filters in there. So you end up blowing other people's bacteria onto your hands.